What's up, guys? My name is Khan, and we're back today with more Scrap Mechanic, and today we're looking at a super cool vanilla build. I decided after I built the submarine that, it's pretty cool to have a submarine, but shooting at stationary targets really wasn't that fun. So I decided to build an entire cargo ship, and a few people in the submarine video mentioned how it kind of had that World War II feel to it, which I agree with. The manual torpedoes, the straight firing torpedoes. It really does feel kind of like a World War II submarine. So I decided to make a sort of World War II style transport ship. Very simple ship. We've just got a single screw with a rudder in the back. And of course, it is all thruster driven and completely done in vanilla Scrap Mechanics. So first thing we'll do, we'll just get on board. We got to go underneath and hit one of these switches. It deploys a very convenient step platform. We can just get up in here. And before I guess we go inside, we can just take a look. It's a very simple ship. Now, I tried to keep it relatively simple. The main reason is the submarine is pretty complicated. The ship is pretty complicated. They're both big. They're both floating on water. And I wanted to make sure that, it could drive on its own without causing too much lag. And actually, with the submarine, it is a little bit laggy, but it's not too bad. So we've got 4 cargo bays. We've got some basic cranes. None of this moves. It's all just, it's all just for show. We can hit it with a hammer just to look like a cargo ship. The real fun stuff is underneath. And then, of course, in the cargo bays, let's actually just grab some plastic so we can cover them up. But if we open up the cargo bays, you can see we are hauling explosives and level 5 thrusters and logic and some other things. Of course, we can drive it on our own. So down below here, we've got more explosives, more logic. You see the whole thing is rigged with explosives. So it's designed where if you hit it with a torpedo, pretty much anywhere, you're going to set off a chain reaction and the whole ship's going to blow up, and it's kind of amazing. So that's the idea. It is rigged with explosives pretty much everywhere. We've got a bubble block hull, and this is sort of our engine room. These are our autopilot systems, of course, completely done in vanilla. We'll get to that in a sec. And then we can go upstairs to our main control area. Like I said, I kept it relatively simple. That's why there's no doors, for example. I didn't want to have extra bearings, extra controllers, extra calculations. Want to make sure it was as simple as possible. We've got a couple of seats. So we can, of course, get in, and we can drive the boat normally with 1, 2, 3, and 4, which I just have remapped. 5 will retract our 2 gangways there. So we can just retract both of those. And, it drives like a normal ship. It's not super fast. The propeller spins in the water. The rudder turns when we turn, just for show. It's just controller driven, nothing too fancy. But 6 and 7 are the real magic. Those are our autopilot systems. So we're actually going to turn one of them on here. And if we go inside, you can see the right side light is lit up, that right side logic gate. And that means we're actually tracking the right shoreline. So the way the autopilot works is it uses 250 block range sensors. So we've turned it on there, number 7. And now we can actually get out and walk on the deck and let the ship do its thing. So when I originally made the autopilot, I thought, well, in creative, there's sort of this big ring of water around the world, and I want the ship to just kind of drive around the ring of water on its own and just do laps, right? And I thought, what if we just have sensors that read both sides, like read both walls at the same time and just steered between them? But the problem is this is a lot wider than you'd think it is. You wouldn't realize how wide it is, but it's actually fairly wide. Are we gonna hit that? No, we're good. Sometimes it'll, if the propeller hits something underwater, I didn't put a sensor on the propeller, so that's the only risk, is if the propeller gets hit, it might screw up. But anyway, back to the autopilot. So in the front, we've got some sensors. There's 2 in the nose. These are aimed out 45 degrees in either direction. There's sensors on this side. 1 is aimed forward, and 1 is aimed to the right. All of these sensors have been blueprint edited to have a 250 block range. The max range on a blueprint edited sensor is 255. So the max we could really go is 255. I went to 250 just to keep it nice and even. And so basically the ship sees 250 blocks in all the directions around the nose of the ship. And those are underwater, so it's actually reading the shoreline. With the autopilot, all we're doing is we set a left or a right autopilot. And so right now we told it to follow the right side. So what it's doing is it's trying to keep these sensors always within range of the shoreline. At least one of these 3 sensors has to be picking up the shoreline. And as long as a sensor picks up the shoreline, it'll move away from it. And then if a sensor stops picking up the shoreline, it moves towards it. So that's why you see the ship sort of going back and forth, giving a little bit of variance. And then there's actually a 1 second delay on each of the movements. So when the ship decides, oh, I don't see the wall anymore, it keeps going straight for 1 second before it turns away, and then so on and so forth. It goes straight again, and that just prevents it from, you know, jerking back and forth. So it does do a bunch of maneuvers. It'll read rocks in the water, for example, like it read that rock, and now it's, you know, trying to read the shore. It's gonna read this rock, so it's gonna push us out, but it will consistently follow around, and it's actually like super cool. I'm gonna make more boats with this exact same autopilot system, but you can see it's really cool. Like I can walk around, I can do whatever, it'll keep steering. We could have, you know, a bigger boat with guns or whatever we want, and it'll just keep, you know, driving on its own. And if we go in here, well, you don't see much here. Hold on, we go down here to the logic. You can see it's still making the decisions. So this autopilot is the one we're using. This one's the exact same. It's a very simple autopilot. Not much to it. It just basically says, hey, if you see the wall, turn away from it. And if you don't see the wall, turn towards it. And this timer here in the middle gives it a 1 second delay between those movements. So if it sees the wall, it turns towards it. If it doesn't see the wall, it turns away, and so on and so forth. And that basically allows the ship to keep turning. And these gates here, you can see these control the directions of the thrust. There is a reverse, of course. The autopilot doesn't use the reverse at all. It just keeps driving straight forever. We can enable the reverse on our own when we're manually driving it. This is a bit of a pain to get out of when it's moving, to be honest. There's no, I have to put a chair down. There we go. There's no movement in here. I should make this a ramp. You know what? What if we, it doesn't matter. We're gonna blow this ship up anyway. But yeah, we should make that a ramp. Oh my goodness, hello. Well, we're up here now. But anyway, it's really cool, and I like the fact that this ship just keeps driving on its own. There's a few things with it I don't like. Right off the bat, you can see it's kind of listing to the one side. I can't seem to fix that. There seems to be an issue with scrap mechanic water. When you make something that's relatively neutrally buoyant, like this does have a concrete base in the bottom. There's concrete in the bottom of it, which keeps it upright. And then there's also a bunch of bubble block and stuff like that. But for some reason in scrap mechanic, when you have something that's like really close to neutral buoyancy, like the left and right movement, it'll just kind of get off tilt with like the first turn you take, and then it'll never fix itself. So I don't really know what the deal is. Oh, no, it kind of did there. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. So there's that. And the other thing is I find this is too fast. But I'm gonna show you guys something really weird here. So we've got a couple thrusters in the front. And if I just watch, I'm gonna reduce these by 1 tick. Just 2 of them by 1 tick, right? And now I'm gonna turn off the autopilot. And then I'm gonna turn it back on once we've stopped moving, and the ship will like barely move. There's something really weird with scrap mechanic water. So here we go, autopilot's off. Okay, we've got like 20 level 5 thrusters in this thing pushing it forward. Let's turn the autopilot back on. Oh, now it's working. You stupid boat. Basically what was happening was, I would turn on the autopilot and reduce. I'm trying to make this like just slightly slower than the submarine, right? But I was having this issue where it would either be completely bogged down and wouldn't move through the water at all, or it would go so fast like that it just outran the submarine. So trying to find a good balance of speed, the water in scrap mechanic does weird calculations. Yeah, here we go. See, now look. I only reduced 2 thrusters out of all of them, and look at the crawl that we're at now. Right? And it'll never go past this crawl. But when we were already at speed and then we reduced the thrust, it maintained speed. So I don't know what the deal is there. I don't know if there's some drag. This is obviously really slow and easy to hit. I find this is too slow. So we can bring these back up. But now, like, you know, even if I bring them back up. Oh no, we're moving again. I don't know. It's really weird. All right, I guess we're just going to leave it at this speed. This doesn't seem too bad. And you can see, watch, we're going to get to the corner here. So we're still telling it to track the right wall. It can't see the right wall, so it's just gonna do a big turn. I love this, it's so cool. And then boom, turn, keep going, and then eventually it'll go straight down this way. So obviously we're gonna let our cargo ship go. I should probably save this, I guess. I'm not sure what the devs are gonna do with the water, what changes they have. I hope they work on the water physics though, because they are a little bit wonky. Like obviously the water right now is just sort of a barrier, and I would love to see water physics that are a little more responsive, just because it would be easier to make stuff consistently. But you know, it's not bad, I will say. I never thought when I first bought Scrap Mechanic that they would ever have water in the game, and the fact that they do is just unbelievably awesome. So here we go, we're gonna turn this thing on, set it to autopilot the right side. You don't have to have it in range. Like I put these little visual things to let you know when it's in range and when it's not. But Yeah, you don't really need that. You could put it in the middle and then have it autopilot, but it's going to crank it hard until it finds the wall, right? And then it'll turn away from the wall. So if you're not careful, you might beach the ship. It's just better off to kind of put it close to the shoreline and then let it do its thing. So we're just gonna ride this a little bit. Actually, you know what I think we're gonna do? I think we're gonna jump off here when we get close to this peninsula. We're gonna let this thing keep going, right? And we're gonna jump off here. We're gonna take a car and drive across the map, and then we're gonna get in the submarine on the other side of the map and set up an ambush and see if we can ambush this transport ship as it comes by. I'm fairly confident it'll make it around the corner. Shouldn't be a problem. So here, let's just get off here. Good luck, transport ship. I believe in you. All right. We're just around the first corner here. No signs of the enemy transport ship. All right. All of a sudden, the lag hits up. It does, the two of these in the water, about 40 frames per second, 50. It's not the greatest. It's a little bit laggy. To be honest, they're very big creations, but I think it's still pretty awesome. Oh, I accidentally just shot a torpedo. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to, torpedo away. Torpedo, oh no, that was a mistake. I forgot the controls for this are not the same as the controls for the other ship. All right. Torpedo sub number 2. I don't see the transport ship. I literally don't see it at all. Let's dive though. Get under. Gotta be sneaky and hidden. I honestly have no idea where this train. It should be coming around this corner, unless it got stuck on like an underwater rock and I didn't notice. The frame rate definitely tanks just a wee bit when we go under the water. I don't think Scrap Mechanic likes calculating this many floating things all at the same time, but it's fine. We're working out. The torpedo sub, I will say, definitely has a lot more moving parts than the transport ship. This is the main reason I tried to keep the transport ship as simple as possible, because, you know, if you want to use it for a target for any sort of vehicles or whatever, you want to make sure that it doesn't kill your game. Also, the sub is tipping up a lot more than usual. That's weird in the front. Maybe it's because the game is calculating too much. Oh, there's the boat. There's the boat. There's the boat. There's the boat. You can see it right there on the edge of the corner. Okay, let's go. Let's go all sneaky like. Let's go. We got to get broadside shots on this thing as it passes by, right? Like, that's the best way to do it. Okay, it's so hard to see it below the water. There's like barely any hull. There it is above the water. Where is it? Oh, it sees that rock. Uh-oh. It's gonna be way closer than I thought it would be. Full reverse, back up. We are not that fast in reverse. Oh no, it's closing quick. I want to get a broadside shot, man. I don't want to be head on. I don't think this is gonna work. All right. We gotta time this too. With the torpedo travel time. Trying to back up more. All right, I think we're gonna just do it. Fire 2, fire 1. Fire 2. The second torpedo hatch didn't open. Houston, we've got a problem. Did that blow up the first torpedo as well? It did. Oh no. Oh no. The second torpedo hatch got jammed somehow. That's like the first time I've seen that happen. Oh my goodness. All right, that's fine. We're just gonna leave the debris. I can't believe that. The first one was like away, and then the second one just got hit. That's okay. The transport crew, they didn't notice. They didn't notice at all. I gotta make sure the hatches work. Oh man, that was a problem. Let's check the hatches here real quick. How do I do that? I guess let me just place a block down on them. That should fix it, right? In case they're jammed. Dive. Yeah, we can't let them. They'll notice the sub debris that floated up. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. See, I think we're slightly faster than the transport ship, ever so slightly, but that's why I wanted to slow the transport ship down a little bit more than it is. Because, you know, as fast as it is, like, it needs to be slower, but then if I bring it down, like, it basically has 2 speeds, it seems. It's like this speed or a crawl, and there's, like, nothing in the middle. And I don't know how to make it, you know, slightly slower than this. I tried weighing it down, that didn't work once, so I don't know. Anyway, let's see. I don't know if we're gonna be able to hit this shot. It is, pretty much as fast as we are. Look, we're stalking it though. All right, let's just get a shot, turn into it a little bit, and hope our torpedo doors don't get jammed this time. Let's just surface. At this point, we're pretty much visible. Here we go. Torpedo door 1. That opened good. Fire. We're gonna let this torpedo get away first. Oh, there's no way that's gonna hit. Oh, that's such a miss. Oh, maybe. Okay, that one good. That one's clean as well. Come on, hit. Hit torpedo 1. Hit. It's so close. It's gonna hit the bow. Yes! Yes, it went! Look at it go! Completely sunk. Oh my goodness. That was awesome. That was so awesome. I didn't think that was gonna work. I thought it was gonna like graze the bow. It's so cool how it explodes. All right, we're gonna put another one in the water. We're actually just gonna clear the whole world because there's so many parts now. It's a bit of a mess. I definitely do not recommend doing this on anything but a fresh world. So here we go. We're just gonna clear it. So allow clear. Yes, boom. It's amazing that the devs put that in. This time we'll have it go the opposite direction. It doesn't really matter, just to prove that it works though. So we'll get her lined up and going back the way we came. So we'll just turn. Oh, this thing is so cool. I'm so glad that it works as a target. And the fact that I wanted to put explosives throughout the whole thing because when it was completely done there was just a scrap, like a handful of debris. And when we sink this one, we'll actually leave it and take a look. But there was just like a handful of debris left in the water. And I really, really like that. All right, we're gonna navigate it just right next to shore here. If we can, there we go. So you can see that light's on and then we press, well now it's off, but it doesn't matter. We'll press 6, there we go. Perfect, and it should be now tracking that left shoreline. Amazing. You might say, well, it's gonna run into that. Well, that's why we have the sensors in the front. So there's one looking forward, one looking this way, and one looking this way. So it actually makes sure that if you are gonna run into something directly in front of you, it'll turn away from it before it does, which is kind of nice. So that's sort of why you need 3 sensors, but it works really, really well. I haven't really seen it run into much yet, unless of course it hits those rocks, like those big ones there below the water that are, you know, they come up right by the surface, and some of them you can hit. But I honestly, in the time I've been testing it, I haven't had that happen, so it's kind of nice. All right, so we're just gonna let that go. I'm gonna drive up the shore again. This time I'm gonna try and actually have the submarine hidden. I'm gonna make sure to place blocks on the doors. That's just that scrap mechanic glitch that happens sometimes where like doors get jammed and if you place a block on them, it seems to clean it up. All right. Transport ship should be way up in the distance there, so let's just submerge real quick. It's gonna be coming along the left side shoreline. You could have it follow the outside shore if you wanted to. But we're obviously, it's following the inside, so let's just get over to the outside shore and make sure we get this guy good. I can't believe that first shot hit. I thought it was gonna miss. I thought it was wide across the bow. To be honest, I thought it was just gonna go up in front. I have missed a bunch of shots when I was testing this creation out, but apparently just, you know, one shot perfect there. All right, we're gonna try firing a couple across the broadside, like the nose of it first when it's coming towards us, but actually, that's probably a bad idea. That gives us away. We really need to just lie in ambush and wait for it. Oh, there it is, I think. Yeah, I think there's its moving hull. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be, there it is. You can barely see it. It's gonna be like the impossible shot to hit. And the torpedo's gotta float all the way up from underneath too. If this shot hits, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be flat up. Let's come up a little bit. Just bring it up a little ways, just so we can see a little bit more of the explosion. There we go. There's the boat. Okay. All right, it's coming. It's navigating. It always looks like it's coming like straight at you, but then of course you know it's actually trying to follow that shoreline. I don't know. Do we turn? And I don't think we go for a shot this far off, do we? Actually, you know what? We got to get down first. Let's place some blocks on the doors just to make sure they're all functioning in case they're broken. All right. You know, do I do it? I think, you know what? We're going to go for a long shot. We're going to do it. 4. Fire. All right, there it goes. Torpedo away. That might be good. Oh man, that might actually be good. You know what? No, I think it's gonna go across the bow. I think it's gonna go in front of it. I don't know, we'll tell if we can see an explosion. No, I went way in front of it. Way in front of it. Alright, 5. Fire. Opened up, good. Fire. There it goes. That one, 5 looks like it's tracking though. 5, that looks like a good tracking torpedo. Oh, that's gonna hit. That's gonna be dead in the side. Oh, it turned a little bit though. Oh, it hit in the back. It hit in the back. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. Let's go back up to the surface. Oh, that was so good. It just clipped the back of it. And that was it. Just game over. The cool thing with this transport ship too is you could actually get another person to drive it and just not use the autopilot, right? You could have someone just try and steer it and the other person try and dodge it with the sub, which maybe I'll do at another point in time if you guys like that. I did, of course, build it to use as a target practice for myself because I think it's just super cool to try and torpedo it. And I do want to build more like World War II style boats in Scrap Mechanic that are all done in vanilla and just have like all sorts of cool, you know, explosive launching cannons and stuff like that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As you can see, this is what's left of the transport ship. We're gonna just go out and take a look. We're of course fine at our submarine, but yeah, this is it. This is all that's left. Is just a little bit here at the front, and even then, sometimes no, and all the level 5 thrusters on the ground. Holy cow! You see, level 5 thrusters don't blow up. Look at this. The crane sank. This part sank. Oh, that's so cool. I made the top out of like scrap metal because I wanted to make sure that if it didn't get blown up, it sank. And look at that. You got like the top of the stack, and and look, it actually trapped like a piece of. Although that might have sank on itself. This is awesome. The other crane here, all the thrusters. It really does look like a debris field. This is also why you need to definitely clear the world each time. It gets ridiculously laggy. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I really like this build. Obviously, I love the torpedo submarine, and I think it was great. But on its own, the torpedo submarine, you know, it needs something to shoot at. And I think this transport ship is just fantastic. We can just spawn this in again. I just really, really like it. I know it's a very simple build. You know, it took a while to build just because of its size. There's not a huge amount of details on it. I did want to make sure I kept it simple just for, you know, like I said, to make sure it doesn't lag too much, even though it still already lags. But I think for what it is, it looks really, really great. And I really like the fact that the submarine can still, you know, just reduce it to a pile of rubble. And if we had other ships, like if I had a destroyer with a cannon with an explosive, you could shoot that at this too. And if you hit it in like one of these cargo holds or somewhere along the side at the waterline, you'll blow up the whole ship. So really cool stuff. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure, of course, you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time. Oh, I'll put this on the workshop too, so you guys can download it if you want and try it out.